The season kicks off on Friday. Has pre-season prepared you well for the return to the Premier League?
I hope so. There's no doubt that pre-season takes on a number of different phases. So the last couple of weeks we've been, working a lot more from the tactical point of view. Obviously, the early part of pre-season prepares you from a physical point of view. So we've tried to give the players as much information as we can over the last couple of weeks to try and put into them to get them ready for tomorrow night's game. We're under no illusion how difficult the task is for us against Shelbourne, but we're at home. It's a big night for the club back in the Premier Division. We've got a big crowd behind us, big travelling away support, so it should be a good atmosphere in the stadium. And that's something that we're all looking forward to. And really, pre-season, we're glad that it's over now, and we're glad that we're ready to play the games.
How pleased have you been with the recruitment this season?
I suppose, listen, I gotta say we've been, we're pleased with what we've been able to bring into the club. So again, we brought in players at certain different stages of their careers, some with good League of Ireland experience, others looking to get an opportunity. So young, hungry players, I think that's important for us as a club as well. So we're still looking to bring in players. Grant Horton come in this week, so to strengthen the squad, to try and help the squad. So, I'm happy with the players that we've got in. Obviously, we've got to try and bed them in quickly, gel together as a group, come together as a team and a squad. And that's one thing that I'll be absolutely preaching to everybody, week in, week out. My message will be very clear that we got to stay together as a group. We got to work hard together. We got to remember that we'll have high and low moments throughout the course of the season. So we want the supporters to stay with us, to be patient with us at times, because one thing that's for sure, we won't let them down in terms of our honesty, our effort when we cross the white line. That we'll have players that we busting a guff for each other, busting a guff for the club, and I think that's really important. And ultimately, that's what supporters want to see: a team that cares, a team that plays for each other. And hopefully, some exciting football along the way.
Is your approach to the Premier Division going to be any different to your approach to the First Division?
Oh, it has to be. I think tactically we're going to be stretched and tested a lot more than we would have been in the First Division. So we're coming up against high level players that can play, technically good players, physically well conditioned athletes. And all the teams, are more or less full time. So. From that point of view, there's everybody is all the clubs are full time, so there's no weaknesses in the Premier Division. There's some good managers that set teams up very, very well. So we've got to make sure that we cut our cloths to suit our measure, to be pragmatic in terms of our approach, to put a team that's organised onto the pitch, and that's something that we'll try and do.
So Shelbourne finished fourth last season, only a couple of points behind Derry and Pats. What can you expect from them this Friday?
A good side, a well-organised side, a well-oiled machine, really, that are together a long time. Yes, they brought in some new players, but their way of playing, I'm sure it has modified and changed a little bit, because obviously they're bringing in better quality players year on year. So when you look at Damien's teams, they're always well-organised, they're always fit, tactically good, and they're going to provide a real test for us tomorrow night.
So you spoke a little bit on the atmosphere in the RSC for this Friday night, with how well the game's after selling out. So how important are the fans going to be, both at home and on the road this season? Yeah,
well, listen, we want to get our supporters excited about coming into the RSC, to back us, to support us, to get behind the team. There might be times, like I said, where we have to suffer a little bit in terms of, outside of the ball, but ultimately, we're all looking forward to the season. The supporters coming in, they want to see us play particularly well, and that's what we'll be trying to do. We'll be trying to put a team on the park that represents them well. Have the players together, the supporters together, and if we can do that, we can bring everybody on a little journey with us. I'm sure we'll have a great season.